beginning of day 2 here. Started off in Springfield, Missouri, and now we are in Oklahoma. 5 minutes to the next supercharger. Trip's going along nicely. Now, the other question that I get from people on the Tesla is, how many miles do you get out of a single charge? And that's like the hardest thing to answer because it truly depends. Yes, the car, my specific model, is rated at 326 miles from the factory of range, but like right now I'm going 83 miles an hour. I am not going to get anywhere near 326 miles of range. I might get 200, 230 maybe. It just widely depends on the temperature, the speed you're going, and then a little bit on the weight of the car. Are you going uphill? Are you going downhill? There's a lot of factors that go into how much range the car actually gets. Now, you can get more than that, but you have to go 55 miles an hour. So it really varies. But what I'll say is on this trip, it really hasn't mattered because you just hit the next supercharger and you charge up. Elon, when he was on Joe Rogan's podcast last, and Joe asked him, how far, what's the max range we can get? And Elon's response was, well, how much range do you actually need? What he's saying is, like, how much weight and how much do you want to put in these cars? How big do you want to make these battery packs? If you're just driving your car around the city, why would you want the car to be able to go 600 miles when you plug it in every night and it's good to go in the morning? So making these cars lighter weight will also increase the range. I think as long as the car is rated at over 300 miles from the factory, that's pretty good. And I think probably about a 600 or 700 mile range would be ideal for making road trips closer to that of a internal combustion engine, a gas-powered car. So it varies. I would say the long-range models are the ones to get, unless you know for sure you're just going to be in the city within a 100-mile rate, really within a 50-mile radius that you're going to be driving your Tesla. You can do fine with the standard range. With the long-range models, they come with all-wheel drive and things like that, so there's other benefits and they are faster. I just always recommend going with the long-range models. They have the perfect amount of performance, they're fast, they have the most range. So that's my recommendation to you. If you can't quite afford it yet, just wait. Just save till you can get the payment to what you want it to be, or pay cash for the car and go from there. So that's my recommendation if you're looking to get a Tesla, and that's my answer to how far do they go. It varies. I'd say about 230 to 250 for this model, which is a 2020 Model Y long range. All right, so we're drafting a truck right now, and as you can see, the range is kind of going up, so we're gonna see how much it changes once the truck moves away from us. Should change fairly drastically. I think it's up to 40% better range efficiency when you're drafting a truck. We will see. Mythbusters here. When I'm drafting a truck. You're tired?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Ben woke me up today.
What?
Just by coming over to me and going, "You ready?" And then he opened the curtain.
Yeah.
And listened to videos loud on his phone. My biggest pet peeve is when people wake up in the morning and start listening to TikToks or whatever the hell it is on their phones. And it's just psychoness in the morning. I hate it.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's not smart, that's for sure. Doctors don't recommend it. 9 out of 10, because 1 out of 10 are on Instagram doing dances. Okay, so here we go. Truck left. And projected range is going to hell in a handbasket. There it goes. Hey, Model Y. Woo! Oh, yeah, we're spiking big.
Big spike.
Big spike.
Pecans, pecans, pecans.
Pecans, 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 pecans.
Almonds, walnuts, cashews, homemade fudge, candies, Miller
pecans.
pecan
Release. I should get a billboard.
Yeah, you should.
But yeah, 117. Okay, so it changed a little bit. Went from like 129 to 118-ish.
A lot of cows out here.
Where you going, bitch? Okay. Trash is over there, you drunk. What are you looking at? So we brought a bouncy ball to play with at Superchargers, but the ball went rogue. Give it a rip. Ball went rogue. Guy's letting her go. Nice guy. Just rip it. Here it comes. Oh, shit.
And so, it seems that right now the
Texas is here. Welcome to Texas. Shoulda shot Nola. Devin is in the pilot seat, piloting the Model Y, and I gotta say, I just met a subscriber, Mr. Brown. There's a change happening in this country with as far as adoption of electric vehicles. Everyone that I've met that drives a Tesla, mainly Teslas, because I don't know many people that drive electric cars other than Teslas. That guy's going 400. People are adopting them, and it's people of all... What is that? I thought it was a rocket. It was a pterodactyl.
It's like a hawk.
I thought it was way bigger than that.
He's flowing.
He is flowing. He's vibing right now.
He's just straight skeet.
He's skeet. This video is already off the rails. But there's a change happening across this country.
Like that could kill you. I'm sorry.
What could kill me?
All those windmills together like that.
Oh, yeah, that
That's
does.
what I was trying to talk about. Show.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, they're all like blending
They're
out
lined
there.
up like that.
Yeah. Just an absolute blender.
Alright, talk about the change.
But there's absolute change happening in this country as far as adopting electric vehicles. Part of the reason is that people have already adopted them is because they're extremely fun to drive. I'm one of those people. The fact that I can do 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds and get about, well, 250, 260, 270 miles of electric range in a car and have a reliable charging network across the entire country in comfortable seats, high definition screen here with navigation that takes me to the superchargers to do all the charging I need to. I put in my sister's profile here so it adjusts the steering wheel, mirrors, and seat to exactly where she needs to be. Things are changing now that the government is behind pushing electric cars, which I'm not a huge fan of. I get we need to improve air quality and things like that. I get it, but there's still something that an internal combustion engine like a 911 GT2 or GT3 that excites me. That's why I own a BMW M2. But these types of cars are going to get more fun, and the Tesla Roadster is going to be insane. I just drove the Tesla Model S Plaid. Check the card at the top of your screen if you want to watch that video. Unfortunately, the chest strap was sitting too low. I'm working on my angles, all right? There's change happening in this country, and I'm just looking at all of these windmills here. As far as creating sustainable energy and people adopting that sustainable energy, and these people are from all different backgrounds. You saw when I was in Missouri, and that I'm pretty sure he was a farmer. I think that's what he said. Came up to the car. His kids love Teslas, and there was a trucker, a guy who was driving a dump truck while I was on my way back to Arizona yesterday, who was interested in the Tesla. He wanted to hear about it. Now, they're not being pessimistic. They're interested. They're thinking of buying these types of cars. I just think it's a really exciting thing to be a part of, and the whole community, for the most part, is very accepting and helpful of one another. Now, the funny thing is everyone, I noticed this in the comments, every Tesla owner tries to say, like, well, Elon's mission is to have full electric power, and it doesn't matter what brand they are. But then, like, if someone says, I own a Mustang Mach-E and I hate Tesla, they start to like, well, good luck charging it! Good luck charging it!
The fact that we're taking this road trip together, people who are in the older demographic, at least, like, for example, our parents, like, they're like, oh, well, you can't drive across the country in a Tesla. How are you gonna do that? But like, this is a perfect example of the fact that, like, you can do that. And I honestly think this car is way more comfortable than my own GLC 300. Just the seats comparatively comparing that, but you know.
And then the
like,
acceleration.
Yeah, and it's more fun to drive, and there's just something about it that feels cooler. And then also, people like notice these cars, you know, like they know what they're about.
Right.
And that's kind of a cool thing. And then just think it's also smart. I don't feel like we've taken any more time than I would at a place to fill up my tank. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we have, for sure.
But it doesn't feel like that.
Yes, I know. That's the weird part, is once you get used to something, you know, I mean, driving a car across the country, like, taking a plane is the fastest way.
Right.
So, if you want to get somewhere quick, take a plane. If you want to enjoy a road trip, you can take your Tesla and see these little towns that you would have otherwise not seen. The image I'm showing on the screen right now of the Conoco gas station, that is what was used in the Cars movie to make, it's called Rosco. I'll have the right thing written at the bottom of the screen. I can't remember what the lady said. But like that, I would have never been to that place if there wasn't a supercharger there or had an electric vehicle. I 100% understand these cars are still cost prohibitive to a lot of people. I'm not ignoring that in any sense. I'm not saying everyone should just get a Tesla. I get it. But it's the prices eventually will go down as the supply chains catch up. Supply chains are opening back up now, and things are becoming cheaper. Lumber is becoming cheaper, like for home prices, and eventually that will leak into the car prices coming back down. But there's change happening, and it's really cool to drive through the middle of the country and just have a bunch of people be intrigued by the cars and ask questions and come right up to you and just say, hey, shake your hand, you meet them. It's exciting. It's like a fun thing to be a part of and make videos on and help as many people as I can. I try to make you laugh in my videos and you learn things that I show you in the car. This is not a news update channel. I just try to do cool things with the car and show you how fun it is to use. And I have a lot of things coming too. A Porsche Taycan, I'm going to be doing a review of that coming up. I'll be doing another Model S Plaid video. I'm trying to get a company to work with me to buy a Model 3 and then take it to Unplug, do a full build of the car and then give it away. So that's cool. So I have a lot of things coming. The Hyundai Ioniq 5 I think is something I may purchase. There's lots coming on this channel. I just had to get this little rant out as I was driving across the country, just because it's an exciting time to be creating content on electric vehicles. And that's coming from someone who, you know, I had a Civic Si, I had a Focus ST, I have a BMW M2, and that's my background in cars. And to jump into a car like this and just be absolutely in love with how it drives and find a cool community around it and supportive community, it's been really fun to make these videos. You have something you'd like to say?
It's easy to book a flight, okay? We all know you know how to book a flight, but call someone you hate and say, let's take a road trip and really figure things out. Call someone you love and then take a road trip and talk about how much you love each other. There's a reason to drive, and we just have to reinstate that driving is for everyone.
I love it. Driving is for everyone. Is that a new t-shirt?
I think it is.
Okay.
Electric cars are for everyone. That's really the main point, you know?
Yeah.
If you can afford to do it, just do it. Because life is short, and you might as well get in a car with someone that is interesting. Because we have had a good time.
Yeah.
Because we're both
mentally unstable.
Correct.
Right.
So it keeps things interesting, and Ben hasn't fallen asleep at the wheel. He used to fall asleep at the wheel when we drive 6 hours home from college. We almost went straight into an exit one time.
All right, we can stop talking about that. Because we didn't.
We didn't, but, you know.
I looked the sign square in the eyes and said, hey, not today, Mr. Sign.
The thing is that road trips are fun. It's cool that we get to do this in a car that we're not really leaving an impact that much, you know, other than the dookies.
Yeah, what is that, an antelope? What the? It was brown and then it had white on the bottom. It was a deer looking thing. Yeah, we're getting close to New Mexico.
Time while I'm having a good time.
That's chill.
And we're just going to keep on keeping on. And good vibes.
And we're just going to, here's something I just thought of. Here's a good saying. I haven't heard this. You ready? Live, laugh, love. What do you think?
And
what?
Welcome.
Oh!
And just every other thing that you can find at Home Goods, which marks the bread, the butter, the soup, the sugar, the milk,
the salt,
tools,
the pepper,
utensils.
the crushers, the non-crushers.
Buy all of those things.
Strap
Take
them
into your backyard and break them all.
Shatter them. And that's with the person you hate. Say, hey, let's break this hate. And you put live, laugh, love in the back, pull out your AK-47 and just go, and then you get in the Tesla and you drive across the country.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
I don't think we need to label things. How many labels do we need?
I think we're...
Stop labeling things because we don't need labels.
Don't label love. New Mexico. We're back to neighboring New Mexico.
Land of enchantment.
So a question that I've gotten a ton from people as I'm driving across the country, or people that just know me and know I have a Tesla and ask about charging, is how much does it cost to charge your Tesla? How do you pay for it? All that stuff. So I'm going to walk you through that right now. And I'm also going to give you a tip if you do have a Tesla of how to get the fastest charging while you're traveling around the country. So let's just start with that. So we have two sets of chargers here. There's this set and there's this set here. So one thing to notice is on this charger, you will notice that the girth, the circumference of this right here, Space Innovation Labs, hey, I'm actually doing work with them for the tail table. That's funny. So you'll notice, I get so distracted, but you'll notice that this cord here is fairly thick. So we'll go over to this cord and it's slightly thinner. So these thinner cords, if you see these, you can see that's much thinner. These are the V3 chargers, which can charge it up to 250 kilowatts or over 1,000 miles per hour if your battery's under like 10%. So now the other thing is, how much does it cost? Well, what I'm finding as I've been driving across the country is a lot of these are charging you nothing. Current sessions showing $0, and I've added 4 kilowatt hours. So a lot of these chargers across the entire country are costing $0. Now, I do have a lot of referral miles, so I wouldn't have to pay anyways. But for the most part, I'd say probably 60 to 80% of the chargers, the superchargers that I've gone to, there's 16 of them that I hit going from Arizona to Western Pennsylvania. The majority of them are not charging you. So I don't know if like Burger King's paying for that or the person that owns the property is incurring that cost in order to drive more business. I'm not exactly sure how that end of it works, but a lot of times the supercharging is actually free, and when you're charging at home, it's very cheap as long as you're charging in off-peak hours. So that's what I have to say about that. I hope that's been helpful and worth your time, but I gotta say, driving this thing across the country has been amazing. It's extremely smooth. I did get the upgraded suspension in it. You can see the card at the top of your screen to check out that video, but I hope that information's been helpful.